So good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Desmos, and you're all welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new, narcissism resonates with you. You may be a chosen one, you may be an awakened empath, super empath, or whatever. This video is for you, and the content resonates with you. So I encourage you to join us, like this page, share with the friends, subscribe. And for those that have always been with me, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. So sometime last year, I had the chance to, that was last year, it could have been around the summertime. I had the chance to visit a conference. So there was this huge conference, and in that conference, it was a business conference actually, a small one, but it was a business conference. So we are sitting there. Those were the. I was still going through this awakening. I'm still going through the awakening, but at that time I was still in the early stages. So in that conference, I remember hearing something. Some guy stood up and said, some guy gave a short speech, and they asked him what he used to do before, because that was an entrepreneur conference. So the guy was saying that he used to be a bank manager. Was he an accountant or a bank manager or something like that? And then he had to resign his job. He has to resign from his job. And he followed his heart. He followed his heart because there's something that he'd always wanted to do. And he actually said that in that job he was getting a lot of money. He was earning a lot of money in that place. He was comfortable with the money. But internally he was not. It was not everything. So from the inside, as much money as he was getting and everything, he was still not satisfied. So he had to resign his job and follow his heart. So it took me a while to understand exactly why. Why did he have to do that kind of a big decision? Because you see, for me, if that was me previously, before my awakening, I wouldn't do something like that. For the most of us who are stuck in these jobs, most of the time you find people, they are stuck in jobs because they are getting a salary, and they are having they are feeling comfortable and everything, so they are paying a couple of bills, everything, and usually they will find themselves in that routine, which routine can go on for the rest of their lives until a person will get an awakening. So the reason why I'm making this video is to make you understand that sometimes, as a chosen one, when you get an awakening, when you finally wake up, and you're going to discover that actually most of the things you've been doing previously, they're not making sense. There's so many things you've been doing before. You've been in relationships that are actually even dangerous for you. You've been in work situations which are even sometimes very toxic for you. And most of the cases, many things are going to stop making sense. So because of that, you're going to be propelled to follow your heart. You're going to be propelled to find your independence, follow your heart, and create something new for yourself, whereby in that position you're going to be able to help other people at the same time you're making an income. So if a person make that decision before the awakening, they're going to get a lot of criticism. I'm talking about the guy from the business conference. If a person make that decision before the awakening, the first thing he would get a backlash from his friends. He would get a backlash from his family. People will be blaming him. People will be pointing fingers at him. Why did you do this? Why did you make this kind of a decision? But it is only him who would understand this. It is only him that would understand the decision he has made. Nobody else around him would understand that. So a chosen one is a person who picks up the call. God will awaken you, like I've always said. Most of my videos I'm talking about narcissism. So God will awaken you at some point. And during that process of, they call it the spiritual growth. During the process, because you start to elevate at some point, you start to grow spiritually. So during the process of spiritual growth, you're going to find yourself having to make very, very massive decisions. And it is not everybody who is awakened. They have actually picked up the call. God will give you a direction. You'll know your intuition is pushing you somewhere else. Like I've talked to some of my subscribers on this channel, and even I think some of my clients as well. And people have told me they feel a calling to do something. There are some of them who are actually stuck in some jobs. They are stuck in somewhere. They are doing some maybe regular jobs, 9 to 5s or something like that, well, I call them 9 to 5, but it can be an 11 to 8 or something like that. But they are stuck in regular jobs. And they have that inner calling of doing something. They have that inner calling that, okay, so they need to start to create something. Because at the end of the day, success, for anybody to get successful, you first of all have to take your power back. Get your power back from wherever it is, whether it is in a toxic relationship, whether it is in a toxic work environment, wherever it is. You have first of all got to take your power back. Sit down for a moment, listen to your intuition, and then now get out again and follow your heart. But you can always follow your heart by making your own decision and standing up for yourself and creating something for yourself. At the same time, you're making an impact to the world, and at the same time, you're earning an income. So some of the decisions you're going to take as a chosen one, they're going to rub people the wrong way. You know what I mean? So you might find sometime your wives, husbands, they're fighting with you. They're thinking, okay, so you've left the job, so what's next? You've done this, so what's next? You're going to be asked a lot of questions. And a lot of people are going to misunderstand you, which is even coming back to the very basic subject of this video. A lot of people are going to misunderstand you. You have got to know that a chosen one, they see the world in a different way. They see the world differently. They don't see the world like other people see it. You know what I mean? A chosen one understands the oneness of everything. A chosen one understands the oneness of everything, the oneness of people, the oneness of each and everything around them. But in the third dimensional way of thinking, there is separation. You know what I mean? You have got a religion which believes in the Buddha. You have got a religion which is a Catholic, Jehovah. There are so many hundreds of other religions. And those religions, they have always created separation. So the religions create separation, but in the 5D state of consciousness, we understand that this whole thing of religion is just actually trapping people to belong somewhere. You know what I mean? You're just having a sense of belonging. And because of that faith you have followed for a while, you follow a certain faith, and because of that, you get programmed to believe that actually other faiths do not matter. Like I've seen sometime on my channel, there's some people who is born again. There's some people who is Hindu. There's some people who is Muslims. There's so many people who follow me from different religions, from different faiths. And for me, on the 5D state of awareness, I don't see any difference from somebody who is a Muslim. I don't see a difference because somebody is a Muslim. They believe they pray in the Quran. Somebody believes in the Hindu. Somebody believes in this. Somebody is born again. I don't see any difference. I just see the oneness of everything. I just see the oneness of people. But in the third state of consciousness, people understand that actually, oh, because the other person is a Muslim, we are born again, we're the ones who are authentic, we're the authentic ones, we're the ones going to heaven, we're the ones going to, what do they call it? We're the ones going to ascend. So the other ones, the Muslims don't matter, the Hindus don't matter, the Jehovah's don't matter. But when you go to the Jehovah's Witness, they are also going to stand and say, actually, the Catholics don't matter, the Protestants don't matter. So religion has always caused separation. So most of the times you're going to find that the chosen ones, you might have grown up, like me personally, I grew up a Catholic. I grew up a Catholic all my life. So many times I've even been going to church or whatever. But now I understand that actually all faith matters. It does not matter who is believing in what faith, whatever anybody, anything somebody believes in, it matters. Because I don't look at people according to their faith. So most of the time, the chosen ones, the ideologies you have and the way of thinking you have, it does not add up to other people who don't understand you. It does not make sense to other people who are not awakened, for that matter. Because, like I've always said, for a chosen one to become a chosen one and to understand you're a chosen one, you have got to go through an awakening. And if a person ever comes to you and tells you that they are chosen and they have not had an awakening, those people, they are lying to you. And when I'm talking about an awakening, you have got to understand what is an awakening. If you have got to understand what is an awakening, you need to go back to my videos and watch the videos that I said, the spiritual awakening, the signs that you're spiritually awake. So you need to know what awakening means. For you even sometimes to understand who is a chosen one, you need to understand what an awakening means. So it is going to become hard because you're going to be challenged in so many ways. You're going to find a lot of challenges. And when I'm talking about a chosen one, I don't always mean that they are the guys who are better than anybody else. You know what I mean? So a chosen one is just a person who has who has decided to answer the call. You have received the call, you answer the call. A lot of people receive the call and they ignore the calls. They just carry on with doing whatever they are doing, and they never actually answer the call. But the chosen ones, they always answer the call, and they follow their heart, and they start stepping out to help other people. So I'm not saying the chosen ones, they are very much better than anybody else out there. No, it's just those people who have awakened. They have understood that actually the whole world around them has always been an illusion. And because of that, they have stepped out of their comfort zones. They have answered the calls to step out and help people, even sometimes to help raise the vibration of the planet. So most of the time, the challenges you're going to find is that so many people who are, they could be your best friends. You've grown up with them. You've studied with them in school. So you could find people who are, they are thinking that actually this guy looks like he's crazy. You know, they may start to call you names. They're going to start to call you crazy because now it looks as if you're speaking a different language. So most of the people, and it's understandable. Normally, I don't make judgments. I've learned along my journey that I cannot make judgments because I understand where people are coming from, regardless of who they are. So people will call you names. People will think, because you think you're the genius one, you think you're the clever one, because you think you're the smart one. Yes, the truth is you're the smart one. A chosen one, you will find yourself having a different type of wisdom that actually is not common to other people, because like I said, when you go through that process, of the awakening, a lot of things are going to change. And one of the things you're going to experience is that you are going to start getting different kinds of downloads. You will not know where the information is coming from. If you're a person who is going to start helping people, you have got to know that you're not alone. You're getting information, downloads. You don't know where this thing is coming from, but for some reason, you keep on getting information, downloads after downloads. Sometimes they're going to even overwhelm you. So most of the cases, it is not everybody is getting these downloads. You know what I mean? For a person who is a regular person who is not awakened, they don't even understand what is a download. But a person on the fifth dimension, they understand exactly what is a spiritual download, and they also understand what is divine guidance. So most of the things you're going to do, the language you may find yourself speaking, you're going to find yourself is going to be very different from what you've been used to. So your families, like I remember myself in the early stages of my awakening, it took me a while to make videos, like I've already said. It took me a while to make videos, but at some point I started making videos. And my family was okay, so we don't understand the language you're speaking now. Saying this, we don't understand what is this, what is that. So most of the cases you're going to find that actually you're speaking a different language. It is because you have got a world that you see that other people do not see. You've got things that you see other people do not see. You've got a world that you understand that other people do not understand. And usually, like I said, again, you do not make any judgments. You just have to understand where people are coming from. Because most of the people, like I've always mentioned in my videos, most of the people, they have got their consciousness, they are turned off. Their consciousness is turned off. So they're not awakened like you. You know what I mean? So it is going to become a bit hard to get people to accept you. So that's why you see even sometimes most of the chosen ones, they have found themselves in a case whereby they are lonely. They have found themselves in a very lonely situations, because at the end of the day, you're seeing the world differently. You don't see the world the same way other people do it. So at the end of the day, you may come and try to be like everybody else, you know what I mean? Do what other people are doing, say what other people are saying, and at the end of the day, you are still not going to make sense of everything. And even then, your language has already changed, because always I've mentioned in my videos, the very beginning of the transformation is the awakening process. The very moment you go through the awakening, everything is going to start to change. Everything will change, guys. You can never be the same after awakening. I've always mentioned this in my videos. There is nothing you will say to people is going to make sense. People, they are going to misunderstand you. Your bosses are going to misunderstand you. Your parents are going to misunderstand you. Your siblings, your families, each and everybody around you, they are going to misunderstand you. But why is this whole thing happening? Is because you are here to start to create a new world, to give people enlightenment, to help to teach the people, elevate humanity and elevate people to a new level of consciousness and a new level of awareness. So we are here to teach. A chosen ones, for the most of you who are following these online media platforms, chosen ones are people who are here to, they are here to teach. They have even sometimes started teaching and helping other people. So if people start misunderstanding you, you don't have to make it personal. Don't take it personal. You have to understand that they have got a different, they see the world differently. Not the same way you see the world. They see the world different. Other people see the world differently. And usually you're supposed to understand where exactly they're coming from. You know what I mean? So basically, it is going to happen oftenly. You're going to be misunderstood. And again, it is not personal. So if you're chosen one out there, it is very important to understand that you have always got to stay on your calling. You have got to wake up every morning and do everything in your power to make a difference in the world. You know what I mean? Because that is the reason why you are chosen in the first place, because that is your job, that is your assignment. It is your assignment from the divine, it is your assignment from God. You can always wake up in the morning. It does not matter what is your situation. You may be struggling a bit with your rent, or maybe you may be struggling a bit with jobs or whatever, but you've got to understand that at the end of the day, if you just keep on following your purpose and following your calling, it is always going to work out in your favor at the end of the day. So you wake up in the morning, get out there, make an impact to the world around you. It can be in so many ways, like I've already said. It can be so many ways. You can always think about doing things like writing a book, creating awareness. Even there are sometimes on this page, there are some people even writing books now. Some people are writing books. Send out information to the world there. You can write a book. You want to do something, write a song. Do not be stopped, guys. If that is your calling, if you feel from the inside of your heart, from the core of your heart, that is your calling, always step out, guys, unapologetically. Step into your calling. That is your purpose. So whatever it is you want to do to create awareness, to help people, to raise the vibration of this planet, to help people, enlighten people, to even sometimes to help in the awakening of other individuals. Because like on my page, my calling is awakening other individuals who are in abuse. So there could be so many people who are stuck into those kind of situations. And remember, a chosen ones, the reason why you're doing what you're doing is because you have got the experience, you have walked that journey, you have been through it already. So you have come out on the other side, and now you can look back and help the people who are still stuck in those situations. Like on this page, I talk about narcissism. So I help people because I have been in those situations and I know exactly what people need to know. When I got the call, I answered the calling, and that is what I wake up each and every single day to make sure that I give enlightenment out there, help people out there, to make sure that people don't get stuck in those kind of toxic situations the same way I did. So that is usually what happens with the purpose. Chosen ones, you do not have to worry about being misunderstood. It's going to happen. It is not personal. It is going to happen. People are going to call you names. Some people will call you a conspiracy theorist. Some people will call you crazy. Some people will call you're mad, you're this. They are going to be all kinds of names. But a person to be a chosen one, you have seen it all. You have gone through it all. You have seen it all, and you have been. You have gone through a lot of pressure. Most likely, you have even come from broken families, dysfunctional families. So most of the cases, it's very likely also that you have gone through a lot of pressure, even in your families, discrimination. But probably you have even been a black sheep in your own family. So it is going to be a lot of challenges on the way. You have got to expect people will come in to try to bring you down. But you have always got to understand these people. The world they see is not the world you see. You know what I mean? It is important for you to stay on course. You stay on course, you stay on purpose, and you can never be shaken off purpose for whichever reason. Whatever happens, you have got to stay on course. Because at the end of the day, guys, you have to understand it. You are a chosen one, you're highly favored. And everything will work out in your favor. It does not matter how long it takes. It does not matter what you do. Everything has got to work out in your favor. As long as you wake up each and every single morning and you do the right thing. When you're doing the right thing, you're sending out good karma. It is always happens that good karma will always come back to you. You send out bad karma comes back to you. So that's how it works. You know what I mean? So for the people who choose to call you names, I've been called names personally. You know, I've been called names. Some people used to think I'm going crazy. Some people used to think I'm mad. Some people thought I needed help. Some people thought what. I'm the only person who knew what was going on with me. I'm the only person who knew what was my status. So it has never pushed me off course. It has never pushed me off course. And usually people will call you names because it is like you are at that stage whereby you are showing them what it is they want to do. Because like when you're enlightening people are understanding more that they need to do more about their own personal lives. The things that they have always ignored, they need to actually step up their game. And most of the times people are not ready for that. People are not ready for that because most of the people, they are comfortable where they are. They are comfortable in their jobs. They want to do those jobs for the rest of their lives. So they are comfortable in their relationships. You know what I mean? So sometimes you can find a person, you're telling them probably you could be dating a narcissist, you could be dating a sociopath. It's most likely you're in a toxic relationship or something. But those people, well, at that time, they're not ready to listen to you. They may listen to you, pick 1 or 2, 3 points from you, but they're not going to follow up with whatever it is you're saying. So, because their time hasn't come. And that is the reason why you will be misunderstood. So many people will come out and say, oh, he thinks he knows everything. She thinks she's all that. He thinks he's all that. They know this, they know that. Yes, the truth is you're chosen. You know it. You understand exactly what you're talking about because you are vibrating on the 5th dimension. So the people who are talking about you or thinking that you don't know what you're saying or something like that, those people that are vibrating on the 3rd dimension. So these are 2 different dimensions altogether. You know what I mean? So you have to step up the game. Stay on course. Do not be shaken, whichever reason. Do not be shaken because, like I've said, the chosen ones, you have gone through it all. Most likely you even had a very, very difficult childhood. Your life has always been very difficult. It looked as if in whichever stage of life you reached, you had to go through the hardest experience that nobody else has experienced before. So you have already been trained for this. Most of the cases, I even came to realize that actually all these things that I was going through during my life, all these things were a stage because maybe God probably knew that there was a purpose ahead of me that required a lot of spiritual and physical strength. So most of those things were actually even part of the process that we chosen ones, we have got to be taken through those stages to spiritually, mentally, physically strengthen us for whatever it is going to come. Because chosen ones, it does not mean that when you're chosen, everything is going to be smooth and everything is going to work out eventually and everything. No, there's a process to this, and there's always levels to this. So there's stages you need to follow before you fully become the person you're supposed. So you're supposed to go through the stages. There are stages to this. You know what I mean? But you're supposed to be prepared in each and every way, shape or form. So that being said, guys, it was just a video to make you understand that it is going to be, for the most of you are chosen. I don't know how many of you in this channel. I know many of you are awakened. Some of you are still in these narcissistic relationships and everything. There's some of you are waking up now, but there's some of you who know they are chosen. You are chosen. I received a call was it 2 or 1 month or 2 months ago, and this was a call. This was a session I was doing about life purpose. So we're talking about life purpose, and so somebody was mentioning they have like a decision they need to take about their purpose and everything. So they could be like at that moment they were feeling like uncomfortable about the position they were doing at that moment. So basically you have to understand that following a call, guys, let me tell you something. To answer the call, to hear the call is one thing. To answer the call is the second thing. Most of the people, hundreds of people, millions of people around the world, they will hear the call. They will hear something pushing them in a certain direction. They want to go somewhere. They want to do something. They want to start something. All the successful people we know about in this world, guys, all these people are creators. There's nobody who is successful in this universe and they're working for somebody. I've never seen that. If you know somebody who is working for somebody, and if you know somebody with very big success, massive success, and they're working for somebody, I would like to know in that comment section below. If you know about anybody like that, who has already given up their power to somebody else, they're working somewhere, and they have found success, I would like to know about that in the section below. So that call was about somebody who was trying to step into purpose. And I know there's so many people as well on this channel. They have the same question about these kind of decisions. They want to make a decision. They want to take a step forward. I can guarantee you guys, it is going to be uncomfortable. It is very, very uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. Guys, you've been working for somewhere for 10 years. You've been working somewhere for 30 years, for 50 years. I don't know how many. Sometimes these companies, they'll put in a system whereby now you get addicted to them. You know, you become like their family. So you're working somewhere and somebody has put you in a state whereby your life is going to move a certain way for the next 10 years. You know, you have got a certain couple of days where you're going to get holidays. Then you're going to supposed to wake up in the morning from 9 to 5, come back home, eat your food, go to sleep, pay some bills. Tomorrow the same thing. Next day the same thing. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. People will be 20 years in that kind of scenario. And at the end of the day, I don't think so you can grow when you're still in the same cycle that you've always been for the last 20 years. It can't happen. Something has got to change. So if you're chosen one, you're out there and you're thinking about growth, you're thinking about development, you're thinking about elevating to the next level, you always have to step up. You know what I mean? It will challenge you a bit. It will challenge you a bit. It will be a bit uncomfortable because, like they've always said, change is uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Change is uncomfortable, and nobody's ready for change. But when change comes, there's no running away from it. You know what I mean? When the change has arrived, it has arrived, and that is it. You know what I mean? When I stepped out of my situationship I had with the narcissist for a couple of years, I didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? I just woke up in the morning, I put my clothes in a couple of bags, whatever it is, I left the house. You know what I mean? I left the vicinity. So I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was going to do. The only thing I knew, and I remember those days, I remember talking to the narcissist, and I remember telling the narcissist that, you know I'm a fighter, right? I told the narcissist at that time, because that time I received the awakening, and I knew, okay, so I remembered who I was. You know, most of the chosen ones, they're the people, they will remember who they are. If you're a chosen one on this channel, and at some point you remember who you were actually a chosen one. And I want you to listen to this. I remembered who I was. I said, okay, I remember all these years, what I was going through, the things I went through, I remembered each and everything about my life experiences. And that moment I remember telling the narcissist in those final days. I told the narcissist that, you know I'm a fighter, right? Yeah, this and that. So, the narcissist didn't know what I meant at that time. They didn't know what I meant, you know what I mean? You know I'm a fighter and I can start again. I can start from scratch and I can win. That's what I told the narcissist when I was leaving. I told her, you know I'm a fighter. And I remember also telling the narcissist that actually, you know that there is something called karma, right? Yeah, you know, you shouldn't think about this. I said, no, I don't think about this, but this is just the way it is. You know what I mean? You do something bad to people, sometimes you'll get the similar treatment. So it's just the way of physics, how things work. Is the energy you send out, the energy you get back. But you may know something about karma. I just wanted to let her know some of the consequences of this whole thing. And I told actually, even on top of that, I told the narcissist that actually, you know that sometimes there are consequences for the things we do, the choices we make in life. There are always consequences, you know what I mean? So, in that time, I just told the narc, okay, you know, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter and I know how to fight. I know how to start from zero. I know how to start from scratch. So, whatever it is, you've got to know this is the end. It's game over. So, well, in those days, I was just speaking with faith. I didn't know what is going to happen in the next 2 months, 3 months, 1 year. I didn't know what is going to happen. I was just speaking everything. Most of the things I've done in my life, I've just done things with faith. You know what I mean? I've stopped questioning reality, because most of the time the reality we see is not actually what is happening. Most of the truth is actually behind the reality. So we may see things in front of us that look real, but behind the scenes something else is playing out. So most of the cases, that's why I've decided that in my life I just try to follow my intuition and to follow my instinct. So something told me, just get out there, things will work out. Get out there, step out of that toxic situationship. Things will work out. Just go. It's what I've done, guys. And I can guarantee you, from that day until now, I look back and I know that actually I made the right decision. Most of the cases, you're going to look back in time, later on, 2 or 3 years later on. You're going to look back and you're going to actually figure out that actually you made the right decision. You did the right thing. Finally, you did the right thing. You know what I mean? You're going to look back and things are going to start making sense. You know what I mean? So, chosen ones, a lot of things are going to happen. You're going to be tested. You're going to be tried. You're going to be mocked. Jesus in the Bible, even sometimes I remember there's a story. Jesus in the Bible. Jesus was persecuted. by guys who thought that actually he was, what do they call it? Were they the Pharisees? For the most of you, I didn't used to know everything about the Bible, but for the most of you who want to, if you drop a comment in the comment section below, let me know those guys who persecuted Jesus. I think they were the Pharisees or something like that, the Romans or something. Yeah, let me know in the comment section below. Jesus was persecuted because he was the chosen one. Jesus was the chosen one in the Bible. He was persecuted for that. So you could be persecuted, you could be persecuted, but you are on the truth. When you're on the truth, you never leave the truth. Nothing can divert you from the truth. You know what I mean? Because some of the people, sometimes they want to come out and they challenge you. People will come out and challenge you. But you are the chosen one. You have got the knowledge. It's like you're a whole bank of knowledge. You have got a lot of knowledge. Sometimes I could call it infinite knowledge. You have got access to infinite knowledge. Some people will not understand where you're getting this knowledge. Some people try to figure you out. What books are you reading? What movies are you watching? Who are you listening to? People, they'll try to figure you out. But most of the times you will find it hard people will find it hard, because most of the times when people try to figure you out, it is going to make them frustrated, because they are trying to pick out who is this guy, who is this man or woman, what is he saying, what are they saying, which books are they reading, what movies are they watching, where are they getting this information. People will never understand where all these things are coming from. But you've got to understand, as a chosen one, you're open to divine downloads. The information is going to come from source. So because people cannot figure you out, and because sometimes the knowledge you have is on the next level, you have got knowledge which is on the next level, people will never understand where these things are coming from. It is going to frustrate people, and that is usually why people start to misunderstand you. So people try to say, okay, so this guy is talking about this, he could be crazy, you know what I mean? That guy could be a conspiracy theorist. This guy could be this guy could be that. So you're going to start seeing a lot of things around you, the circles, your friends' circles and everything. People are going to start calling you different kinds of names. But you have got to understand the chosen one. You have got to understand where they're coming from. It's just because they cannot figure you out. When people, they are not figuring you out, they get very frustrated. And because of that, they want to comfort themselves that actually their minds are not lying to them. So they have got now to overturn everything to look like now you are the one who is crazy, just because they cannot understand you. So just be confident that it is going to happen along the way. But you're built for this. Chosen ones, you're built for this. So this cannot drive your purpose. This cannot get you off course. You always have to know that you are meant for this. You are meant to do this. You are built for this. So it has got to happen. Whatever it is you came here to do, it has got to be accomplished, regardless what. So that being said, guys, in my videos, I would like to know if you're chosen one out there, if you have always been misunderstood, if you're somebody who is having a hard time explaining things to your families, maybe sometimes your workmates, maybe sometimes your daddies and mothers. I would like to know in the comment section below if you're misunderstood. And I want to let you know also, it is okay. It's okay to be misunderstood. It's nothing wrong with you. It's just something with the other people who actually don't understand what you're saying, or sometimes the things you're doing. Let me know in the comment section below the comment section below. Other than that, guys, it's been a blessing to have you guys on board. It's a very sunny day today, and I wish you guys the best rest of the week. Happy Friday. God bless you. There's almost signing out.